Barolo.
Stars shining bright above you. Night breezes seem to whisper.
And a good evening to you all. Welcome back to my channel. I am 350. So in this evening's wine impressions vlog, we will be taking a trip back to Italy. And what I have with me tonight is a rather interesting bottle of Barolo. And what's more interesting is it's only retailing for about £23 from Majestic Wines. So yeah, right off the bat, it's already intriguing in its own right. So for those who are not familiar with the Barolo variety of red wine, it comes from a region called Piedmont in Italy, and more precisely in a little town called Barolo. So it is a very interesting location also, as not only is it a very small town in the grand scheme of winemaking regions, but also it uses a special type of grape called the Nebbiolo, which its name is derived from the climate and the weather where that grape is grown, and generally it's found to be very foggy when the grapes are harvested. So you have to ask, what is the big deal about Barolo? Well, it goes as far back as the 18th century, where even wine enthusiasts of the era who were very much into red wines from Bordeaux in France had to seek out some alternative that can rival wines from Bordeaux, chiefly due to the escalating political tensions and the ensuing war with France. So naturally, Barolo's popularity would have soared back then. And if you fast forward to today, Barolo is very popular amongst wine enthusiasts thanks to its lovely blend of intellectual reward, complexity, as well as its natural ability to go well with a variety of food. So it ticks many boxes.
Time goes by. It's been a long time.
Right, nice and easy. Got to be very careful with slightly aged Italian corks. I could always edit this. I could always edit this out in a way. So there you go. Okay, let's give this a go. And already the colour just tells you this is a Barolo. It's sure if you could see it from there. I'll just do a quick sort of close-up shot as well. But it's a very like a brick red colour, and in terms of how opaque, it's a little less full-bodied than your typical red wine from other parts of Europe. But yeah, it's very classic characteristic of Barolo, and this one simply lives up to its reputation here. Okay, so I'm going to give this a little bit of a smell first, just to get an impression of its nose. Okay. Yeah, I'm sensing that leather. It's got a bit of a leather smell, a little bit of oak. There is you can smell the acidity as well. There's one thing about Barolos is they tend to be a little bit more strident than other red wines. So if you're one to be very into rich, spicy, plummy type of wines, then you might be in for a shock if you then venture into a Barolo. Right, okay. I'm just going to give this a taste now. Okay. I'm picking up some strawberry flavors in there as well. So yeah, there is a nice amount of fruitiness in this Barolo. However, in my opinion, Barolos aren't a particularly fruity tasting wine. That it's generally, again, it's a bit similar to some of the other Italian wines. It's not too too much emphasis on sweetness and fruitiness. It's the other characteristics it goes well with. It's the acidity, the tannins, the other aspects of wine that generally, for some reason, coincidentally, goes really well with food. So whether that's by design or by just sheer serendipity, who knows? But yeah, it's good. It's certainly reminded me this is a Barolo. Yeah, just mentioning on the tannins, this is quite silky. It's not too harsh on the palate. Initial mid palate is rather smooth, and I like that. Not much aftertaste, which again, a great thing. So I don't think you would grow tired drinking this. So if you're going to share a bottle, or if you're an absolute monster like I can be sometimes, have a whole bottle for an evening, then yeah, I don't think you would feel too fatigued by this one. It's certainly a very drinkable red, and plenty of reward as well. I could pick up sort of a lot of nuanced flavors and characteristics in there. Just give it another smell. Yeah, it's very strong on the leather notes in this one. Not too much on oak. There's a bit there, but thankfully it's not overpowering. So it's nicely balanced in terms of all the different characteristics that you want from an intellectual red wine. For £23, actually, if you buy, if you take advantage of the bottle of 6 deal they do in Majestic. I mean, you don't necessarily have to buy 6 of these. You could buy 1, 2, and then mix up with 4, 5 other cheaper bottles, and you get this for £19.99, which makes it even a better value for money. So yeah, it's a good one. I would for £20, £23, if you want to give Barolo a chance, then this is a safe bet. Generally, Barolos average in and around 30, 40, 50 pounds upwards. As I said before, Barolos aren't cheap. They're not a mass scale red wine. So don't expect to ever find one for £9.50 screw top. If you ever do, then just I would give it a wide berth. Something has to give. The price, what you pay for is for quality and for limited production as well. It just simply doesn't have the sheer volume that you would get with Bordeaux or any of the New World wines, so to speak. What I understand of with Barolo winemakers is extremely very labour intensive. Lots of love, dedication, and know-how gets put into creating Barolo, Barolo that is worthy of drinking. So yeah, so overall, it's a very nice introduction to this wine from Piedmont. If you fancy something, a change from your normal communal garden Italian wine varieties, your Chiantis, your Montepulciano, Abruzzo, and so forth, then certainly give Barolo a try. Maybe just even a treat. Maybe Valentine's Day, Valentine's evening dinner. It's certainly a bottle to share, and I'm sure anyone who's into red wine would be particularly impressed with this one. So, as I mentioned before, in terms of the taste, in terms of where it is in the spectrum, it's a little bit more acidic, medium-bodied. You just have to adjust your expectations and your palate a little bit to appreciate Barolo. I actually used to decant Barolos when I was going through the phase of drinking this type of wine, and in my opinion, it does decanting does help take off some of the edge, the stridency of certain types of Barolo. But of course, not all Barolos taste the same. I've tried some that are a little bit more full-bodied and much more rounded off, and then there's some that are on the other end, very acidic, astringent, And yeah, you get somewhere in between that. So it's your miles may vary. Give it a shot. It's for £19.99 if you go for the 6-bottle deal, or just £23 on its own. Certainly give it a go. So yeah, so that's it from me. So thanks again for watching my evening wine impressions video. And I am 350, and I look forward to following up again with more content. So, and of course, if you like what you see, please send me a like, please put a comment, and most importantly, please subscribe to my channel. So until next time, I will see you again soon. So have a good evening now. Good night.